TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks, to the Tom O'Brien Show on TFNN, or TFNN. My name is Ken Shreve, filling in for Tom O'Brien today for hour number one. Always my pleasure to fill in for Tom. Just a reminder, my own show, Breakout Investing with Ken Shreve, airs every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to check out my show there. Just a reminder, you can listen to all TFNN programming on your smartphone. Just type in tfnn.mobi on your smartphone, and you can listen to the show that way. And, of course, all TFNN shows are also available on iTunes. So another way to listen to all TFNN programming. Again, my pleasure to be filling in for Tom today for the first hour. I recently launched my Ultimate Growth Stocks model portfolio and newsletter at TFNN. I launched it in late April. I currently have about 11 stocks in my model portfolio now. I publish once a week, every Tuesday, so once I get off the air, I'm going to be finishing up my weekly update. That's going to publish tomorrow, and I send out email buy and sell alerts in between every time I publish on Tuesday. So it's called Ultimate Growth Stocks, and you can get a trial right on the homepage of TFNN.com. Just click on the newsletter tab and then click on investment newsletters. You can read about my methodology. A reminder, I'm doing a free webinar this Thursday. That's going to be July 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern, a free webinar called How Sales and Earnings Power and Fuel Price Performance. When I go about selecting stocks for my model portfolio, I use a combination of fundamental and technical analysis, but I favor fundamentals more. So I'm going to go over just some recent examples in the market of some real powerful examples of how sales and earnings growth really power and fuel price performance. That's very important to me when I evaluate stocks. So you can sign up for that also on the homepage of TFNN.com. That's my free webinar Thursday, July 21st, this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, how sales and earnings power and fuel price performance. And, of course, you'll be able to learn more about my Ultimate Growth Stocks newsletter and model portfolio. Let's take a look and see what we did with the market today. We are about 10 minutes after the close here. Looks like the Dow down 94.5 points, almost 0.8% to 12,385. The NASDAQ down almost 25 points, 0.9% to 2765, and the S&P 500 down close to 11 points, 0.8% to 1305. On Tiger TV, right on Channel 1, on the homepage of TFNN.com, you can look at charts right along with me during the show. I have a chart of the NYSE Composite up right now. That was down 1.1% today to 8,081, and it's not an index chart that I talk about that much, but it is a very broad-based index in the market, and I think it's interesting, its technical picture right now. It came all the way down to its 200-day moving average today, closed just above it. It fell below its 50-day moving average last week. Of course, we had the S&P 500 undercut the 50-day last week. The NASDAQ, during the recent selling in the market, has been holding above the line, but interesting to see the New York Stock Exchange Composite Index. Again, a very broad-based, actually pretty relevant index in the market these days, sitting just above its 200-day moving average. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 as well while we're looking at the index charts. And again, this is the market's a bit sketchy here. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. People are waiting for these talks in Washington regarding the debt ceiling to work themselves out. Apparently, there's still a lot of work. The deadline of August 2nd is fast approaching, but there's some anxiety in the market, no question about it. You can see the S&P 500 today finished right in the middle of its trading range. Again, down about 0.8% to 1305. It's below its 50-day moving average again. It's only about 2 or 3 percentage points above its a 200-day line, which hopefully will be a longer-term level of support. But a lot of anxiety and uncertainty in the market right now. That's for sure. And then we'll take a quick look at the Nasdaq Composite as well. You can see it actually undercut its 50-day moving average today on an intraday basis. It closed just above the line. Taking a quick look at some other news today, August gold rose $12.30 or 0.8% to a record $1,602.40 an ounce. Let's take a look at the GLD. The Spider Gold Trust, that has been on a tear. I think that makes it 10 wins, 10 sessions straight up for the GLD. It was up another 0.9% today, almost to 156.52. You can see a recent breakout over a swing point right here of 151.86. So at this point, you'd expect to see a pullback at some point in the GLD and the metal as well. Again, 10 straight days or 10 straight sessions, I should say, up for gold, probably ready for a little bit of a pullback here. August crude oil down $1.31, 1.4%. It settles at 95.93 a barrel, and the dollar after early strength. At last check, it was trading pretty close to its session lows. Let's take a look at the PowerShares U.S. Dollar Index Bullish Fund. This is an ETF that tracks the dollar. Yeah, finished near its low today after early strength. It hit an intraday high of 21.61. Eventually ended up 6 cents, 0.3% to 21.49. That's the UUP that tracks the U.S. dollar index. Let's take a call here. I didn't mention the phone number. It's 877-927 6648, 877-927-6648. Let's go to Luke in Illinois. He wants to talk NXG. How are you, Luke?
Doing just fine. How are you doing?
Pretty good, thanks.
Yeah. I was wondering, NXG was up over 20 cents today. I think closed over 23 above. And are we looking at maybe a pullback in that, or what do you think's going on there?
Well, it's certainly been on a tear. It's up, looks like 5 days in a row now. Northgate Minerals, ticker NXG, that trades on the American Stock Exchange. Let's go ahead and pull it up for people watching on Tiger TV as well. I've got a few different charts going here. There's NXG, pretty liquid stock here. Average daily volume of just over 2 million shares. Market cap of just under $1 billion. The company is engaged in the mining and exploration of gold and copper properties, Canada, Australia, areas like that. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is, Luke, this is a stock that is that's extended now. Obviously, there was a good strong breakout. It recently popped over a recent high of $3.02. So I think you probably are going to get a pullback here at some point. It could come right back down to the swing point, maybe even a few cents below that, around $3, maybe $2.90, $3 a share. And there you'd probably get a good entry point again. Okay, yeah, sounds good. I know that. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying, good volume behind the move last week, and looks like good volume as well, taking shape this week as well. Yeah, I know it had a lot of volume today, so I thought that might have been a normal good sell signal. But long-term wise, do you think it has potential to get up above, I don't know, get up to $4 or $5 a share? Looking at it, or? Well, it could. I mean, the bottom line, I mean, I don't know that I would call this, I mean, I sometimes I look at stocks whether they're institutional quality or not. I mean, this stock has some fund ownership, which is good. At the end of the second quarter, there were about 130 funds that had a position in the stock. So it's not like a low-price stock is completely ignored by the institutions out there. So it does have some sponsorship. It's expected to earn a penny a share this year in 2011. And then next year, it's supposed to earn 18 cents a share. So there is a little bit of a growth story here. And you got to pay attention to the volume. Volume very strong last week for the better part of the week, and good volume in there today. So somebody big is in there buying, and that's usually worth paying attention to.
All right. Well,
all right, Luke. All right, appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right, Luke in Illinois asking about Northgate Minerals. Yeah, I mean it's a $3 stock. It closed today around $3.34. So it does have some sponsorship. It's very liquid. It has some positive qualities from a fundamental perspective. Doesn't have nearly the qualities I like to see, but technically acting very, very well. Let's go over some other headlines today before we head into our first break. Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner on CNBC earlier today, he said he was certain that congressional leaders will strike a deal to raise the debt ceiling prior to the August 2nd deadline. Obviously, his optimistic tone didn't do much to help the market today. We did finish off the lows, which I guess is a good sign. There was never a whole lot of volume behind the move. Last week we had what was it, 1.76 billion shares trade on the NASDAQ on Friday. Looks like we're going to come in below that level today. Volume on the New York Stock Exchange last Friday was just over 1 billion. It looks like today is going to come in much lower than that. So even though we did see declines in the market, not a whole lot of volume behind the downward move. So what Geithner had to say earlier today about a deal will get done. I really think the market's reaction at this point is not so much concerned. I mean, the Eurozone debt issues are going to be out there, and I'm sure we'll see occasional negative headlines going forward, related to that. But I think the market does not like this this bickering that's going back and forth between the Republicans and the Democrats, and it probably seems at this point with the deadline so close that there's probably going to be a Band-Aid type fix announced for this debt ceiling where it'll be raised, but I'm not sure the market is pleased with how these talks are going on. So hopefully we'll get some more clarity out of that soon. Meanwhile, China, the biggest buyer of U.S. Treasury debt, increased its holdings in May for the second straight month after 5 months of declines. China boosted its holdings by $7.3 billion to $1.16 trillion, the Treasury Department said earlier today. Elsewhere, Goldman Sachs cut its forecast for U.S. second quarter growth to 1.5% from 2%, citing weak consumer spending. Goldman also cut its third quarter growth forecast to 2.5% from 3.25%. Remember, the economy grew at a rate of 1.9% in the first quarter, down from 3.1% in the fourth quarter. The government will release its first estimate for second gross domestic product on July 29th. A lot of brokerages, a lot of banks have been coming out and lowering their growth outlooks. The Fed even recently did it. They lowered their outlook for this year, but said that growth would pick back up in 2012. Wanted to take a look at Checkpoint, some earnings stories today, some actually very positive earnings stories. I think we're going to see a lot of good earnings stories this week, but whether it's going to be able to lift the market out of its malaise, that remains to be seen. Checkpoint Software Technologies had a good day today. Shares recently trading around 60.58, up 7%. It's a provider of internet and network security services. Earnings up 17% to 68 cents a share. Sales up 15% to $300.6 million. They also raised their outlook. Very good numbers from Checkpoint Software Technologies. When we come back, we'll go over more earnings reports, folks. We'll be right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
Purchase Tiger Dollars during the month of July, and you will be automatically registered to attend Tom O'Brien's one-day live webinar, 5 primary core techniques to become a master trader at no additional charge. Your purchase of Tiger Dollars is the only way to gain access to this exclusive webinar. The one-day webinar will be held Monday, August 8th from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. The course will also be archived on your members page for you to view